that includes like outer space and our solar system.
Yeah, that's true. It's like they're becoming more in tune with nature, if you will. I also think it has to do with, and I know obviously there are exclusions to this, yourself being one of them, is that people are starting to, like our generation in particular, is starting to gravitate away from organized religion. And so they seek to find their spirituality elsewhere. Definitely. And so they look into things like meditation and stuff like that, which exploration is always beneficial. And like meditation doesn't fall under one religion and being spiritual and stuff. So it's, I feel like people see it as an easy route to find their spirituality without like, I don't know. That could just be me speaking through others. Projection. I could be projecting.
Right. And yeah, I don't think that, like being a Christian myself, I don't think that meditation is bad at all. And I would do it if, I don't really have a habit of meditating, but if I thought it would help.
Right. It definitely takes work, like, especially because it kind of sucks the first couple times you try to do it, because it literally feels like you're sitting there with your thoughts, which is the exact opposite.
And when I do yoga, we always have a short period at the end of the class where they lead you through breathing exercise and, just a little,
Savasana.
And I think that's good for you and for mental clarity and stress relief. And
I'm excited to see, like, over the next 10 or 20 years, how this shapes society, how like these pretty big shifts in mindset shifts the way our society operates. Cause like my parents always give me crap for like not being like that, but like, you know, their generation was pretty straightforward and cut and dry, and they weren't super hippy dippy or anything like that. Yeah. And like on top of the fact that we're becoming different spiritually, I went to a comedy show last week, and they did this bit where it was they even made a joke about what to call them. I would call them biracial. Two biracial people are up on stage. They were like, you can call us biracial or ethnically ambiguous. They just threw out a bunch of terms like that. And the end of it was like, but in it was like 100 years, you're all going to look like us. And I'm like, they're not wrong. We're just all going to start blending together because it's becoming so much more acceptable.
Funny. That's true.
Well, I don't know. Like, there's so much advancement in technology, but at the same time, people are like, you should make sure to unplug. And like, so people are still mindful of the fact that you can't be completely immersed in technology all the time. I, for one, do a horrible job at that. I literally wake up and immediately roll over and check my email. I'm not kidding. Immediately. And it's like a knee-jerk reaction now. Like sometimes in the morning, I start to roll over and try to think to myself, just lay there for a second. You don't need to look at your phone. And then after I check my email, I scroll through Instagram a bit to keep myself from falling back asleep. And I'm like, the first thing you see in the morning is your phone. And the last thing you see at night is your phone.
It's not. And I think you're in the majority. I do the same thing. And I can't even remember a time before I had a phone. I don't even know what I would do before I went to bed and first thing in the morning when I woke up, because that's all I've known for the last, 8 years.
Yeah, something like that. I remember when I first got my iPhone in high school, I thought it was so weird to have internet at like there was the internet when you had flip phones where you could like open the internet and then you were charged. But like for me to just be able to like go into my phone and look something up at like the drop of a hat was so
interesting
bizarre.
Because I got my first phone when I was 12, and it was a flip phone, and it had one of those keyboards on it for texting, but it definitely didn't have internet, had a terrible camera.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All you could do was text and call. And my little sister, her first phone was an iPhone, and she's had an iPad. It was, and she got it, I think, when she was
it really?
11, and she had an iPad even before that. She probably had an iPad since she was 8 or 9, and she doesn't even know what it's like to have a phone without internet.
Oh my God.
Just really crazy. And she's only 7 years younger than me, so.
There's going to be someone who's like 30 or something that's listening to this and is like,
yeah,
I didn't even have a phone. Yeah. Okay, 30 might not be a good age because that's not 40 that old.
Or 50. Like I literally 40. Remember the first day my parents got cell phones. I was like 7, I think, and they went to the store and bought their very first cell phones, and they were flip phones. And I remember my mom bought this bejeweled case and was like so excited about it. And right, and of course I know. So but they were playing with them, and they were like, "Wow, we can change the ringtone, and we can record our voice on here and save it as a note." And they thought that was so cool.
Our kids are gonna like come back to us and say similar things about us. They're going to be like, I remember when my mom first got her iPhone 17 and she could project her face onto the wall or some shit like that. And they're going to be like, wow.
I remember when my mom did her first holographic projection. Wow. Can you believe?
I'm going to throw up. I hope technology doesn't progress that fast in our lifetime, because I will end up like my grandmother, who can't figure out how to update her phone ever and has to be blocked. I hope there never comes a day where I like can't figure out technology, because then I will truly feel old. I just want to stay up to date. Like I'm going to make a point of it to stay up to date. I don't see
myself really ever like falling behind with technology, because I use it so much and I always want to have the latest device. So for me, I can't see that. So it's interesting to see older generations that are behind. But I guess when you think about it, in their lifetimes, they pretty much had the same pieces of technology for their entire lives.
I mean, and it doesn't necessarily hold true for all older generations. Sorry, Dad. I know that you're very tech savvy. Yeah, my dad's like super good with technology. My mom's okay with it, but like for the most part, it kind of hits anyone who was born before like 1955. I feel like they're the ones that aren't super great with technology, because like it probably, once it started to really pick up, they were like, nah, this is good enough. Like I just need to make phone calls remotely,
right?
And I'm good
like
with
for the
that,
majority of their lives, they didn't have the internet or cell phones, which are two of the most like revolutionary pieces of technology. So once that was introduced, things started developing like at a really fast rate. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but I agree with you. I hope that I never am that old lady who doesn't know how to use the latest cell phone.
I'm going to make it my goal in life to be super like, I think I was born like bitchy old woman. I really do. And my mom will be laughing at that somewhere, because she always tells me how much I am like my grandmother, but like I'm going to be like the grandma who just says whatever the hell she wants, because I do that now really though. So, but I hope I'm not like, I don't want to be like stubbornly stuck in my ways, you know? It's good to adapt. It's always good to adapt.
I already feel like a regular grandma. I wouldn't say I'm a bitchy grandma. I just like to go to bed by 9:30 p.m. and I would rather lay on the couch than go socialize, and I would rather read a book than be at a party. So,
okay. One of the last couple things, I have a new, you're usually the leader of this segment, but I have a new conspiracy corner thing that I was reading the other day. Oh my God. I can't remember what government entity it was, but some government entity released files from the 1950s about an investigation into, like they actually had an investigation into, UFOs. So you saw it too.
No, I didn't, but I actually think I watched a documentary about it, a few months ago, but this was before they had released officially that it was a thing.
So now we know that
of course
the government thinks that there's aliens.
Silly people. They do.
I know. Well, probably not the current frickin' government. The current government's like, nah, you can have that Area 51 with all those aliens kept in there, but I don't believe it. It's not true. Did you see that they outlawed certain words?
I saw that,
the CDC
and I don't
from
even
using
know what's
certain words
anymore.
How is that legal? I thought that
I don't know. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't
speech.
even know what is going on anymore. I really don't. I didn't even know that was allowed. I didn't know that was a thing.
There are words like, well, so some of them, actually, no, most of them I don't get. They outlawed like fetus and transgender and like, just like.
What? Yeah. What? I don't know.
What the hell? Sometimes I read the news and want to cry. I'm not kidding. Not literally cry, but like I just kind of sigh and I'm like,
I usually read things tonight and just
doing this to me
in disbelief that the items in the news are actually in the news pretty much every day, every single day.
On a positive note, I did read a research article about some scientist somewhere that came out with like a paper. I'm butchering this. He essentially found evidence that we can undo some of the climate change damage that we have done. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like everything I've read is like, even if we stop doing what we're doing and do things to reverse it, we still won't be able to. I've read contradictory things, but I've never read one that is like, it was from I'm pretty sure it was from Nat Geo, or something, some decently credible source like that. That was like, it was only one, research project that was done on it. So I don't know how much evidence they actually found, but it makes me a little bit more optimistic. And I will list a bunch of documentaries and articles in the description if you feel like getting more involved with, even just like personally trying to reduce your environmental footprint. I'm going to put a bunch of resources in the description so people can visit them because it's very important. Well, I'm going to sign us out with a fact you probably didn't know about Christmas that goes into what we were talking about earlier. And it says it's from entertainmentonline.com. So you know that it's credible. That's a joke. Haha. It says many of the popular Christmas traditions today found their roots in Saturnalia. Yeah, I butchered that. But which is essentially the agricultural god Saturn. That's what the celebration was. Branches from evergreen trees were used during winter solstice as a reminder of the green plants that would grow in spring when the sun gods grew strong. So you were wondering where possibly the roots from a Christmas tree came from. There you go. Could have been based in that winter celebration of the agricultural god.
Fact.
Yes, fun fact. So thanks for listening and have a happy Merry Christmas, Hana, Kwanzaa, and a New Year.
Bye.
Thanks.
I'm not.
Bye.